And the furnace of affliction, what God used in this situation, what God often uses within our life along that road of healing is that he uses the furnace of affliction to free us. Notice the very first thing that went away, that they were bound going into that fire, but that fire, that furnace of affliction, it melted those ropes that were on their hands and it was gone. They were freed. And while they were still within those fires there, what else took place? Well, they had movement. There was an element of freedom that was restored to them, no longer bound with the ropes, and now they were moving around in that furnace of affliction. You know, some of your greatest strength will come from times when God breaks you. When you go through devastating loss within your life. Why? And how can you say that, Jeff? Because I've personally experienced it many, many times. But that's not the authority I come to you. That's just a testimony. I come to the authority of God's word. And God tells us in the book of Hebrews towards the end there, chapter 12, that when I'm in that place under the chastening hand of God, then God is doing something, he's bringing something in my life. It's because God desires to increase virtue within me, not to harm me. This is an example. Here these guys are in this furnace of affliction. And in this furnace of affliction, what God is doing is he's delivering these guys from their circumstance of pain. I'm not saying this is yours, but their circumstance of pain. What I'm giving to you is an application or an illustration that you can turn back upon your life and you can see how God has worked when you've been in that place of affliction and or being chastened by the Lord perhaps. And it's in those moments where you find yourself the most weakest and the most squished that your prayer life, remember that's just nothing more than talking to God, that you're taking great leaps and bounds within your prayer life because it's like, yeah, this situation really stinks and I don't like to be here. But you know, I still feel so close to God in this. I feel like when I talk to him that he just, I sense his presence. He's hearing me. Well, we should remember that the ropes were gone, the movement was restored. We should remember that they were unharmed. And most importantly, we should recognize that while the NLT doesn't share it with us there very good, New King James shares it a little bit better. Nebuchadnezzar called out, that fourth person in that fire was the Son of God. That Jesus was standing with them. And you need to know that in your situation today, wherever you find yourself, that Jesus is standing with you today. That God's presence is near to you.